Hello and welcome to this video showing you how to install the Bluemix Workshop prerequisites on a Mac system. Here I've got a clean install of OS X Yosemite, the latest version at the time of recording, and we're going to install the software. So first thing, launch a browser and we want to search for Java SE. We're going to install the full development kit. So select Java SE Development Kit 8. We need to accept the license and then download the Mac x64. While that's downloading, go to the Eclipse site, eclipse.org, and we want to go into the download section. We're using Eclipse Mars, so the very latest release, and we want the Java EE for developers, and again the 64-bit. Next thing we're going to install is get the Node package, so nodejs.org. If you just click the green install button, it'll download the correct version for your platform. And then the last thing is Cloud Foundry. We want the command line interface, the CLI. So we go to the GitHub site and then just select releases, and we want the latest version, the Mac OS X 64-bit. So that will get us 4 downloads. Now that we've got all 4 downloads, if we open up the download folder, and we'll start the installs. So the first thing we need to install is the Java developer kit, so double click. After that we can just double click to uncompress Eclipse. Okay, and then we simply drag that into the application folder. Now I've got application on my panel down here. If you haven't got it there, you can drag it over in the Finder. So drag it onto the applications and it will copy it into the applications. Next, we double click on the Node installer. Now we do need to make sure that local bin is in our path. And I'll show you that in just a moment. And then the last thing while we're here is install the Cloud Foundry command line interface. So if you get a message like this, it may be that your settings do not allow installs from unsigned packages. So if I open up the system preferences and go to the security and privacy tab, I can then ask it to open this anyway, and I'll continue to do the install. So that's the 4 applications installed. We need to do one last thing before we can actually run these, and that's to go and modify your bashrc file. So this is a file that's run every time you open up a new command line prompt, and we just need to make sure that that node path is correctly set. So there's a number of ways we can do this. We can do it on the command line, or we can do it using the built-in text editor. So I'm going to show you with the built-in text editor. So if we just go and find that, and then a quick trick: if you're going to write code or scripts using the text editor, come into the preferences and make sure you turn off smart quotes and smart dashes. Otherwise, as you enter code, it will change single quotes and dash or minus sign, and your compiler or code interpreter will not like that. So make sure you have those two turned off. And then for the script, it's very simple. We just need to get it to run the default etc profile. So source/etc/profile, and then we're going to save that. So you want to save it to your home directory, and you want to call it .bashrc, and you must make sure you save it as a text document. So if we come out of there, we can convert it to plain text. So it's .bashrc. That's good. So we can now hit save. And that's that file now created. So we can test that that works if we just launch Eclipse. So go to the workbench. We're going to install two plugins. So help, and then we go to the Eclipse Marketplace, and in the find box type Bluemix and hit go. Then we're going to install the Eclipse tools for Bluemix. Then we need to install a second plugin. So again, back to the marketplace, and this time we're going to search for Node. And we could put the full studio in, but that's quite a large number of components. So we're going to go for the smaller IDE option down there. Just click install again. So to test the modification to the bash RC script, if we go to Window, Show Views, Other, and then come down to the bottom, and we're looking for terminals. So that's terminal with the S at the end. And then we just choose to open the terminal view. If we double click it, it comes to full size. Create a new local terminal. And then we just want to check that we can run the node command. Okay, so you can see that it's actually put a text at the end of it. So we're just going to move .bash rc text. Okay, exit the terminal. Let's try that again. And you can now see that we're running the node command. So you just need to make that bash modification to ensure that you pick up the path which has node on it. So that's all of the mandatory software installed. A couple of other things that I'm going to show you to install. As you saw, the text editor isn't the best code editor. So it's often better to put a better code editor on your system. So the one I'm going to show you is called Atom. So Atom editor, atom.io, and then select download for Mac. And then the other thing you might want to install is the Google Chrome browser. If you want to do live editing and debugging using the DevOps services site, which we'll talk about on the workshop, you have to use the Chrome browser. So might as well install that as well. So again, the Atom browser, I just drag into applications and I double click to install Chrome. And that completes the setup on Mac OS for the IBM Bluemix workshop. Thank you.